Boon. I'm a game designer for Midway Games, and I'm going to demo Mortal Kombat Deception. Mortal Kombat Deception is the sixth version of Mortal Kombat in a sense. I think the team was going to really wanted to decide to do a lot of dramatic improvements to the fighting system, and those improvements go along the lines of the backgrounds and the roles that they play in the outcome of the fight. We really wanted those, all the different backgrounds and the various sizes and shapes and functions to be as influential to the outcome of the battle as the characters that were picked. We really want people to care, where am I standing in the background, where are the positives and where are the negatives, the positives being weapons that they can pick up, the negatives being these new danger zones and death traps, which we've introduced to Mortal Kombat Deception as well. And just the mix that is of all those backgrounds and the different characters makes for the most unpredictable outcomes in the fighting from any Mortal Kombat game before. In addition to that, we've added three new modes of play, three new dramatic modes of play, all of which can be games in themselves, and package them all together into one game that we're calling Mortal Kombat Deception. I'll go through the various modes of play and give you kind of a brief summary of some of them and how they function. The game's going to have 24 selectable characters for the fighting game. We've retained the three fighting styles from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. That was very successful, and we were very pleased with how that turned out. But we're making the various fighting styles more different from each other than they were in the last games. The backgrounds, like I was describing before, are very integral to the outcome of the fight. If you notice here, I'm fighting Baraka, and he's from Mortal Kombat 2. I'm smashing him through the background here. He lands downstairs, and you can notice a weapon that's behind Baraka right now. I'll try to go over and grab it here, see if I can show you an example of some of the positives. So I'll grab the weapon here, which is one of the more stronger weapons in the game, and this is a great advantage to me. But there's also a risk that you take in grabbing weapons, so it's kind of like a balance. You notice at the top of the screen, under the player's power bars, there's these things called fight state indicators. These are little lights that kind of reveal the various states that your fighter is going through. As I'm attacking, you'll notice that my button is, or my light is red. As he's reacting, his light comes blue. And what the red light indicates is basically when you are susceptible to a counter. So you become a lot more open to more damage, and when he's reacting, he's in a combo. You see his light is blue, and that means he cannot block additional attacks. Mortal Kombat wouldn't be Mortal Kombat without special moves, so we have a bunch of special moves that are each character still has hidden special moves, button and joystick combinations. And I'll show you another fight here. It gives you a good demonstration of another one of our interactive backgrounds. This background's called the Slaughterhouse, and it's two floors basically. Downstairs there's one of these death traps that we were talking about before. Oh, well, let me see if I can blast him downstairs here. There you go. So we land here downstairs, and then you'll notice there's a weapon down here, and there's also this thing called a death trap. See if I can knock him in here. So when you get killed by one of these death traps, no matter what happens, how much power you had, how much power anybody else had, the round is over. And that's kind of like a real reversal of events. What's so fun about this is that it makes the fights much less predictable. There's no, you can't predict at any point in the game when a fight is going to end or who's going to win the fight. And we love that unpredictability that has been introduced in Deception here. So I knock him off and the round is over. He falls off the building and meets the pavement down below. Let's take back to the main menu here and show you another one of the game modes. Like we said here, we have the fighting game. We've added a higher level chess strategy game, which is kind of like a combination of chess, Mortal Kombat, Archon, Stratego. We have a puzzle game, which is kind of like along the lines of the Tetris or Puzzle Fighter. And we have a single player conquest mode, which is where the player basically he's in like an action adventure game, running around, interacting with all the Mortal Kombat characters who've ever been in a Mortal Kombat game, and exploring the various universes. And then one of the most exciting things is Mortal Kombat is online. This is the first Mortal Kombat to be online, both PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And we're very excited about the fact that you can play all three of the modes in Mortal Kombat Deception online against other people. I'll give you a quick demonstration of some of the board game that we have here, Mortal Kombat Chess, and then we'll wrap it up. Right here, you can see the goal here is to set a trap. You really want to kind of disguise where you're setting this trap, so your opponent doesn't know which square it is, and basically, if your opponent runs into that square, he gets he loses that piece. You'll notice here that the computer's casting a spell on me here. It's just killed one of my pieces. One of the pieces in the game is called the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer actually can cast spells, and you can heal, teleport, resurrect, protect, kill, imprison, exchange, and sacrifice. All of these are available for you. So he had just killed one of my characters. I'm going to resurrect him, put him back on the square where she belongs, and continue. Now, if that had happened before, this is one of my grunt pieces, which is essentially the pawn piece. I wouldn't have resurrected him because I would have saved that spell for a more important character like the Queen or something like that. And the way that the fighting comes into play is whenever the characters or the pieces try to take another piece, you play a round of Mortal Kombat to determine the outcome. That basically wraps it up. You know, I love the puzzle game, the conquest game, the online game, all of which are packed into this one, gigantic game that we're calling Mortal Kombat Deception. We're very excited about how people are going to enjoy all these games, especially online. And Mortal Kombat Deception is on sale in October of 2004.